Hey guys, welcome to Challenge Chats. I'm Kevin Anderson, sales consultant and motorsports director for Ron Tonkin Gran Turismo, the official Ferrari dealer for Portland, Oregon. I'm here with Cameron Root, our Ferrari Challenge driver and current leader in the Cup of Shell Class Championship.
Yeah.
Welcome, Cameron.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Challenge Chats is going international, and we got lots to talk about. Stay tuned. We can learn all about Montreal.
What do you think of this thing we got behind us, the Roma?
Beauty. I remember the first time I walked in the showroom, I thought, this is, most think Ferrari, you think red.
Yeah.
What is this? British Racing Green.
Yeah. Verde British.
Verde British. Yeah. So great. With the I don't know what color interior would you call that.
That's
Chocolate
the Chocolato.
Chocolate. All right, see. So close.
AKA chocolate.
Yeah, it looks really good though. Well spec'd. And I think it's your guys' demo car. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, this is our Roma demo. So
if you're in Portland, you think about getting a Ferrari Roma, call Kevin. He's gonna set this up. No tire kickers, and he'll get you all set up.
Yeah, do it.
Trying to get some more Roma sales for.
Honestly though, like I love the Roma. It's one of my favorite cars that Ferrari makes. That car is wicked fast, handles amazing, but I still feel like would be a great daily driver.
I think that's what they kind of made it for, right? It's like a car you go take into the
GT
city
car
with still having the performance.
Yeah. It's like the balance it strikes between the performance and the handling, but still comfort and daily usability. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to take you for a test drive. Maybe we could talk about that. Did you? I know you guys just had track day yesterday. Did you guys take that out to the track?
No, we didn't take that. We took the 296 GTB out there and we didn't track it, but we did.
Man.
We shot some B-roll,
Ferrari's listening.
Drive slow on the track, but
it's real slow.
But the
Ferrari.
filming will make it look like it's make it look like it's fast.
I've driven that 296 on the track, not yours, but at Daytona and Corsa Pelota, and I have nothing but the best remarks for that vehicle. So I'm looking forward to the race car that's coming out, or maybe like a pista version or a VS or X version.
Yeah,
who knows, Kevin?
See what they do with that. Yeah, be interesting. Can't wait to find out.
So let's bring this to Challenge Chats goes international for people.
Where'd we go?
We went to Montreal.
Bam.
First of all, I'm going to big shout out to Montreal. I'm going to rate it as the most underrated city in North America. So if you have
That's a big statement.
If you have not gone to Montreal, which I had never been, and I've pretty decently traveled, I was pleasantly surprised. I said I had not been in a city with that many skyscrapers outside of New York City. And it was actually one of the original, I believe, city for all of North America. So I mean, it has all. I felt like I was in Europe without having to go to Europe.
Yeah, you're telling me that. I was like, that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, so I felt like a great community. Also, the Ferrari Challenge race, being in Montreal, was the support race, as you know, for the Formula One race. So that's why we were there.
That was another thing that was unique about that weekend too.
Exactly. And so what did that mean? Lots of people. When you're at events like that, they throw big numbers around, 300,000, 400,000, up to 500,000. So maybe we'll take the median at 400,000. I don't know, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so just arriving there, I got there, I think it was on Wednesday, and the place was just electric. I mean, just already had energy in the whole area. Thursday, I go for our track walk.
Yeah.
So I actually get to go, walk the track, and I'm not even practicing, but just doing the track walk. There were, I'm probably could serve 50,000 fans just watching us walk the track. And I was fortunate to also walk the track with the Formula One drivers, and they gave us the option to either walk it or we have golf carts. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm taking the golf cart. I mean, a lap in the
How
golf
how
cart.
how long is the circuit?
I don't remember the mileage. I know we were doing about 15-minute lap times in a golf cart. So I can
I
only
love how
imagine.
you guys were recording lap times in
Oh
the
yeah, we
golf
were we
cart.
were timing it, and it was really fun because we do lines, and he'd be like, "No, I don't do that again." I just turn around and do a few sections multiple times. Uh, and then like Thomas who's my coach, was telling me, he's like, because I was going around, people goes, "That's not the line." He's like, "They're in your way, just keep going, and they'll move out of your way." And I got real close, and apparently almost clipped an F1 driver.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So apparently he was like, "Whoa, whoa, don't get that close to that guy." I didn't know
Do
which
you
one
know
it
who it
was.
was?
No, I'll
No.
have to ask him. Maybe
Yeah.
can update you guys.
Oh man.
But yeah, so but yeah, the track walk was amazing. Just the amount of people, the energy, and then like that night, I mean, they had shut down streets. It was just a big party.
Yeah, so I know it's a street circuit, so obviously they like shut down those roads for the track portion of it.
Yeah.
But are there like around in the vicinity of the track, there's lots of streets shut down too?
It's the track's like on its own island essentially. So
Oh, okay.
you can like take this bridge over there, and I have no clue where all these people were parking because it was just a mayhem of just people flooding in there. And Ferrari did a great job of getting us our own passes. So the F1 drivers, the executives, the principals, and us were the only ones who had guaranteed parking spots.
Yeah, and
And
then you guys got there's like a water taxi or something
yeah, there was
too.
a water taxi I took once, and that was really shuttling people from where our pits were to the hospitality suite. But we had our own exit as well. That was just this dirt road, and the police would just dumped you in this back bridge that got you off the island, and you had no traffic to wait in. It was amazing.
Oh, good. I mean, that's gonna be clutch for the challenge drivers, the F1 drivers, the like team principals,
Everyone, like, I
you
had
know,
my family there.
people that like. I mean, the fans there coming to watch the race. Like, I think they're there to watch the race. They don't have like deadlines of like being here or there, and
Yes.
getting over to hospitality, and I got to get back over to for practice or qualifying. So that's good they had that access for you guys.
Good job, Ferrari. You guys did a great job. And then I guess the previous year they had 125 minutes on track. We had 200 minutes. So even though that may not seem like a lot during these F1 events, it's a lot of
Yeah,
track
no,
time.
it's a good chunk amount.
Yeah, so we
More.
got 3 practices on Friday. So now, being from the Pacific Northwest, there was flirting with the rain. So
Yeah.
I gotta do a little practice in the rain. I could do a little practice in the dry. Got a little used to both. And so we only really got 1 day of practice. So I spent a lot of time on the simulator, trying to get really
Okay.
good at it. And
Yeah.
so I wasn't using like a real high end simulator. I was using Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nice.
and they like have like 19,000 people in the world who had like banked a time. I got it down to like 635 in the world. Man, there was multiple cars, so I kept in a Ferrari. Maybe I could have used a different vehicle, but I was really proud of that, and a lot of it did translate to the track. Um, and so on Saturday, we had the opportunity we had to qualify for the Saturday race, qualify for the Sunday race, and also race on Saturday. So it was a lot of work.
Wow. So yeah, Saturday was like a lot of driving.
Was
Two qualifying sessions and a race.
and a race. And now there's a lot more fans here. I would say at least half the people there. You have around 200 something thousand people here. They're all there for the F1 drivers to see them, practice. Um, yeah, it was fun. So talk about the first qualifying session. Um, I was pushing really hard, and it's coming into this corner too hot, and I end up actually wrecking in qualifying.
Ooh.
And my fault.
Was it just coming in too hot and you just couldn't make the turn, or did you spin out? Like,
I was coming in too hot, but I think if there was no car there, I was at the appropriate speed, of how I was taking that corner, but with having another vehicle there that was slower. Um, and I was just doing exactly how I had done it. I was like a little missile. I couldn't stop.
oh,
So
so there's just somebody in front of you, slower driver, and then you were just coming in too hot, and they're basically just like in your way, and there's nothing you could do.
nothing I could do. I apologized to the
Uh,
guy, offered to pay for his damage, and unfortunately, literally he had like a little dent and I think a cracked rim. Literally the next qualifying session though, he unfortunately wrecked that entire side of his car. So
Oh, so you're like, all right, never mind.
well, no, he told me I didn't need to, and I felt bad for him. But yeah, that's his side of the car.
Yeah. I mean, did a lot of people, I mean, because it was, wet weather most of the weekend, it seemed like,
Yes, it
from what
was
I was watching. So, I mean, did a lot of people have offs? I mean,
a
I know I
lot.
saw some during the races.
Yeah, a lot of
But
people had offs. Since that track was built for the World's Fair, that whole area. So I don't want to misquote it. I thought it was in the 70s, like somewhere in the 70s. But 80% of the races, you have an 80% chance of the race having a caution flag. So it's very
high risk
likely
circuit.
high risk that someone's going to end up getting in a crash.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, me getting in the crash, that had me start at the back of the field
Yeah.
for my first race. And then in the second qualifying, I had to just kind of put that behind me. And I did really well. And I actually ended up qualifying P1
Nice.
for the second race.
Very opposite.
Very exact opposite. But,
Yeah.
I went from being real mad and then, I had about 2 hours to be able to refocus and just put that behind me. And that's exactly what I did. Just tried to put my best lap forward.
Yep.
So also, when you get P1, you get an extra point for being in the pole position.
Yeah. That always counts.
Yep. So in the championship, that's huge. So we can talk about the first race. First race, again, I started in the back and it was raining. So we're on a Saturday, and I really had in my mind, I was thinking about like Max Verstappen earlier this season. I'd seen him start in the back and him trying to like make a charge forward, and
Yeah.
being from the Northwest and having experience driving in the rain, I was like, this is kind of like my opportunity to try to come from the back, big behind. Use this as this adversity as an opportunity.
Yeah.
And
it was a fun race to watch.
It was definitely a fun race to watch.
I watched it live on YouTube.
Good. I come right out of the gate. We have a start. You can't pass the guy until both cars go through the start line. And
Yep.
right out of the gate, the first corner, I get my first guy, and it just started clicking like that, where it was just almost one person every corner. And I was just working my way through traffic very fast in the first lap. 2/3 through the lap, I probably passed like 5 people at this point, and coming, I think it's turn 11. There's a wreck. I see a guy backwards, and I'm telling my coach, "Hey, there's someone backwards," and he goes, "Hey, the course is still green. Go, 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 go." At that point, I'd seen like 3 cars really come down to like a 50% slowdown.
Yeah, really pump the brakes.
Right, because there's a car there, and then there's actually a second car, and I saw it like on fire. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is bad. Everyone's watching, but my coach was like, "Go, go, go." And that's exactly what I did. 3 cars is slowed, 2 cars are wrecked.
Yeah.
I literally
was that like part in the part of the race where it was Matt Krajewski?
Yes. Matt was one of those. Yep.
Okay.
And also to fill in, usually we have 2 classes racing against each other. We had all 4 classes racing in one race. So
yeah,
the amount of vehicles were exponential. It's close to 40 vehicles.
Double the amount of vehicles on track at one time, basically.
So definitely a lot more challenging and variables. But when my coach was like, keep going, and I just floored
track's
it.
Green.
And I just, I'd made it past where, I wasn't gained position through right where the wreck was. But right after I passed it, I passed all these cars, and I was able to continue to gain track position all the way down the straightaway, all the way through there. For my first lap, I had 11 overtakes total.
Yeah, I remember watching the race live on YouTube, and it was like starting the back, and then like, it cuts to different cars, and it was like showing coverage of like the wrecks that had happened and just kind of some of the carnage, and then like next time around that they popped up, the stats of like position for all the drivers, I see you in 3rd place. I was like, what?
Exactly.
Like, what just happened? That's amazing.
It felt, I went from last place to 3rd place in the first lap. And then me and Frank, if you're listening, Frank, great battle. I could not get around Frank to save my life. I mean, it's full out rain. I'm going almost 170 miles an hour, and you can't see anything. And then out of nowhere, you just see brake lights appear in front of you. I'm going to slam on your brakes, or I'm trying to get around him. Hydroplane out of nowhere, almost just wreck the car. I mean, you almost have to stay behind these people. And I would love to show you the footage. I mean, it is
in-car footage would be crazy.
The in-car footage is insane because it's one thing to hear about going like 160 miles an hour in the rain, but when you're side by side in another vehicle and right on their bumper and they keep cutting you off and you just keep going. And I probably it was like 10 laps for me to try to get around them. And Thomas, my coach, I remember him saying 2 minutes left in the race. And it was just like out of nowhere, my mind was like, it's now or never. And within a few turns, I was able to pass Frank, get into
Yeah.
second place. And then I had 2 lap traffic cars in front of me. That was from the faster class. I had to work my way around them. And David Vronin, my main competitor in there, he was in first place. And I caught him at the very last corner in the back straight. And I overdrove that corner and still wonders to me if I could have gotten him. And
Like
my
if you had
coach,
gotten a really good drive out of that last corner, if you could have drag raced him to the finish line.
yeah, to the chicane, to the finish line, I really feel like it's possible. I really overdrove that corner. Still finished 0.8 of a second behind him. So I'm still.
Dude, I mean, hell of a charge from the back.
I'll take last a second. I'm happy.
I remember when you got when you and again it was like the cameras all over, but then I see the stats pop up and it was the last lap and you moved into second place. I was just like, yes.
Yes. No, it was epic. I think I need to upload it on YouTube. So we'll find a way to get that up there so you guys can see it. But yeah, that one lap is pretty magical that I'm talking about. I mean, it's not often you get to overtake 11 vehicles in one lap.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm not starting in last place again to even have that opportunity.
Right.
So it was.
You're like, that was fun, and it ended up well, but like, let's not do that again if we can.
Yeah, that's definitely not the strategy we want to go with. And then also the people in Canada were so nice. Ferrari does such a great job of making you feel like bigger than life. And so they had an opportunity where we got to be with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. And we got to meet them, get our photo with them. And they literally, Ferrari printed that like almost onto a postcard. And the next day, that's what we were giving autographs to everybody on.
Nice.
And they had a couple hundred people lined up and we were giving autographs. These people are really passionate about racing in Montreal. It's their only Grand Prix for their entire country. They show up very strong and they do your research on you. I had people rooting me on. I made friends there. When I came back from last place to second place, they were waiting in my pits to cheer me on.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I even had Googled myself on YouTube, and these guys had multiple people had loaded YouTube clips of me just overtaking people in a corner that are on there. Every time I pass someone, they'd upload that clip to YouTube.
That's
just
awesome.
These little fans, and then
Yeah.
they're very passionate. And even when I had crashed in qualifying, they were right there to console me and tell me they had the whole section cheering for me. I remember just flashing my brights by them and the whole thing erupting. I mean, it was a very cool experience.
Oh man, that's so cool.
So then we'll go to race 2. Actually, well, let me rewind real quick too. When I did have that opportunity to talk to Charles Leclerc, I asked him for some speed secrets. This was on Friday. And he told me just to go flat out everywhere.
Great advice.
Right. So that was before I had crashed in qualifying. So Carlos, I'm blaming you a little bit.
Yeah.
Real nice guy. And then on Saturday evening, Ferrari will do like some sort of nice event, and that's what they had done as well. We had an opportunity to get photos with him and ask him some questions. And David, my main competitor, said, "Hey." Asked Carlos for advice. He goes, "Hey, how do I beat this guy? He's number 1." And then Carlos, "Oh, you're number 1. How's the points work? How many point lead do you have on the guy? What's first place, second place, third place for points?
Yeah.
Pole." He wanted to know how the whole thing worked, and just super nice guy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what else happened what was going on at that evening event?
I believe it was the SF90. No, it was the Roma Spider. That's what it was. The Roma Spider
convertible version of this.
For this car got launched in Canada. I think United States got theirs offering a little sooner. So if you're in Canada,
Roma Spider,
you can get your Roma Spider. Or if you're in the United States, make sure you get your Roma Spider from Kevin. But yeah, it was just a great experience overall. Really nice, great food.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, they always do the evening events at the Ferrari Challenge weekends. They're always amazing. Super. They're all unique and very cool. Amazing
Yes.
locations.
Great music. I mean, yeah, it's a great live event. And then on Sunday, and I would also say even like the people at the hotel, all so supportive. They know like I was a driver. Like when I had my second place trophy, I mean, they were all taking doorman taking photos with me outside. I
Yeah,
mean, they just
nice.
made you feel larger than life. Even everybody around there, because I couldn't find the golf cart to take me back. Uh, I'm like walking around the pits with this trophy and a big bottle of champagne, and everyone's just giving me high five. All these F1 fans everywhere. I mean, it was a great experience.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's super cool.
Yeah, it was a really fun time. And then also the champagne celebration. Uh, Man, if they had videos, this would be a good one to cut into. But a lot of people are very polite and they don't really spray champagne on each other or just a little spritz. But me, David, and Cyril Chotsky definitely.
You
Or
guys
no, I
go
think it's
for
Frank.
it?
I mean, it's Frank. I don't think it's real on this one. Frank, we really got David really good with champagne, and he was one in first place. My mindset was kind of, well, maybe I'll get his suit a little extra wet for Sunday, and
Yeah.
yeah, and but David got me. He turned around and blasted me right in the eyes with champagne. I was like,
How's that feel?
oh man, I was like
Champagne in the
blind up
eyes. I don't know
there.
if
I
I've
could
ever had
not
that happen to
see to
me.
save my life.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no.
And I was actually shocked how tired I was from that drive. It was like a heroic effort to try to get to second. I felt wiped. I just wanted water. But very cool experience to be on the same podium with all the F1 drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I think they also call that because the F1 podium had Verstappen, Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso. So they were talking, could be one of the best podiums in F1 history, and to be able to stand on the same podiums as those guys is a really
Yeah.
cool experience.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
super cool. How many other people can say they did that?
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it was a
Not
great
very many people can
experience.
say that.
Like
So
the F1 overall, like, it's definitely a lot more hoops and people to jump through when you're usually doing Ferrari Challenge. You're kind of like the main event. But it was totally worth all the extra effort to be part of that experience. I mean, you're pulling into the pits just for practice and you see all the big names, Verstappen, Hamilton, and you're just cars right next to their pit, and maybe you'll even see them working or they're doing calisthenics, jumping jacks, and you're part of it.
for you being a driver, was it easy for you to get kind of like close to the pits and like
I was in
were
it.
you able to like be poking around the actual like Formula One cars, or
Yeah.
was there a certain point where they're like not allowed in here?
No one said no, but I mean, you're definitely being respectful. They kind of like a wall that's
Yeah, you don't want to be like walking in there and then like getting in like a mechanic's way, I guess. But
yeah, but yeah, it was very open, especially like when I was there, even like walking around with my bottle of champagne and trophy. I mean,
yeah,
I was like the only one in the pits there. It was awesome.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Then talking about Sunday Fun Day.
Yeah,
Now on the redemption, we got P2. Now we're starting in P1. That the start of the race was crazy. This is why I got to keep working on it. Usually, I don't have those other two classes of vehicles of cars ahead of me.
yeah,
Some usually I'm starting in one of the first two rows, and just meaning that the car naturally created a bunch of extra unneeded space that was in front of us. So that was the first mistake. But we were able to close that gap. But just coming into the first 1.5 corners, one car spun, and then I had to go around him, and then another car spun.
yeah.
I had to go
I
around him.
remember. Yeah, the opening like it was all the cars in the Pirelli Trofeo.
Yeah, the class above us,
and
they were spun
yeah,
out.
Pirelli M. Like those are the two classes that had just like a bunch of people spin out. Like I mean, literally like right away.
Right, and we
Yeah.
were on cold tires too. I had talked maybe we should do one more warm up lap, but I get in the interest of time. But yeah, they spun out, and then I even got hit by a car. Like so, I'm like going around a car, and then I get hit, and I'm like,
Not bad enough to
no,
like
but
damage
it
anything.
just definitely shocked me, and everyone's
Yeah.
jockeying for position. And I'm going around the track, and I remember after my end of my first lap, I remember I'm going back into like corner 2. I remember my coach goes, "All right, you're sitting in P3 right now," and I remember just being shocked that I knew one car had probably gotten
Yeah,
by
and it was
me.
just such mayhem in that first lap that you just couldn't keep track of who's where.
Yes, I had no clue I had gotten passed by 2 cars. I mean, I knew there was some mayhem trying to get through there, but I instantly and if I watch like the in-dash cam video, the second tells me you're in P3 right now, you literally see me floor the car and it just goes like he like literally like taking control of my mind that I was already pushing it, but told me I was in third place, like just threw me into this extra
Yeah,
mindset.
kind of sounds similar to like when he was like you were in third place and he's like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, 2 minutes
That's
left.
where it's just like turn it on.
He turned it on, and I'm not blaming Thomas for this one bit, but literally at the end of that lap, I got in a wreck in that exact same place I did in qualify.
That was
And
the same play. I saw the wreck
yeah,
in race 2. I didn't know that was like the exact same spot that you
exact same
crashed.
place, exact same thing, and I take full responsibility for it. Again, the previous lap, we checked the data. I'd braked at the exact same place, same brake pressure, and I'd made it successfully through that corner. But
It was
again,
just a slower person
there
in front
just
of you.
wasn't a car there.
Yeah.
And I'm putting it on me. I definitely needed to make sure I'm doing a harder initial brake hit, especially there with other cars there, and not pushing the momentum. So
Yeah.
it
I mean,
was.
I don't know. I watched it. It's like
I've had a lot of people say it wasn't your fault.
No, I mean it's like it's both people are responsible for it,
I take
like,
responsibility at the end of the day.
But at the same time, like I mean, you were like door to door with the guy.
Yes.
And it's like the other person's responsibility too is to like know what's going on around them. And it's like you're racing. You got to know that somebody's gonna be, if there's a gap, like somebody's gonna be coming up the inside of you.
That's what everyone says. It's racing.
It's racing. And stuff's gonna happen. It's like nobody's really at fault. It's like everybody's fault and nobody's fault at the same time. It's just like
I'm the one to take the fault. And Ray, I apologize. I haven't had an opportunity to apologize to him in person yet. If you do listen to this, I do. I'm sorry, genuinely. And it ended up taking out my radiator. So it wasn't like
I was gonna ask you because I saw it and I was like, oh, that was like kind of a hit, but like the car looks like it's.
I thought I could keep going, but it's just the
driving.
amount of steam that was just going. It was just.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it messes up a radiator or like some of the pipes or something like that, then
it's not like I had 1 minute left in the race either.
Yeah,
like this was, and that's what I think was the big takeaway and big bummer for me is it was my first wreck in our actual race, and I felt bad that not only I potentially take someone else out, which he was able to continue his race, so I was glad about that. But I take myself out. I had my stepmom, my dad. And it was Father's Day. I wanted to win from my dad, and they travel all the way from Montreal, basically only on my second race to watch me do 2 laps, and so I'm having to internally, even though I just need to trust knowing that I'm faster than most of these people, that just because I'm faster just doesn't mean that's the time. I can set it up for 2 or 3 different corners, and it's just being more cognizant. It did actually go all the way to where IMSA, who's the governing body of our race, end up giving me like a warning. I don't know exactly. I tried to pull the email, but basically I'm on probation for the next 4 races as a result. And if I am the root cause of an accident, they have the ability to suspend me for a race. I didn't say it. I don't know if that happens 100% if I am, but I'm sure that's up to their. But
so the rest of the season, then you gotta make sure you keep it clean.
Basically, so I've been practicing. I got Sonoma coming up next. I've been practicing on my simulator, and anytime I feel like I'm running that same scenario, I'm trying to back out and just make sure I'm doing the cleanest overtakes. Really focus on my exit speed, and just be a better driver. And I think I got to remind myself I'm the points leader. I don't have to always finish in first place to continue that victory, even though that's my mindset.
Yeah, I mean, it's like where you're at.
I was in third place.
You're 14 points ahead of second place now.
Yes, but imagine if I would have finished that race.
And then I think it's Surreal is second place and David dropped to third.
You're correct. So right after,
but they're right there.
They're right there, like a point or 2 away from each other. So when I got in my wreck, I remember I'm going backwards. Never's good when you're going backwards on a track. And I see my competitor, the guy who's right behind me in points, driving past me. I just remember thinking like, no. And it just felt so out of control watching him go by me. And I remember now I'm off the side of the track and watching the cars go by. And I'm like, where'd he go? I couldn't see his car. And I don't wish anything bad upon anybody, but he, out of anyone who wrecked, he happened to wreck as well right after me.
Yeah,
And he did not complete the race. So from a point standpoint, that was his opportunity to really bridge that
that was
gap.
lucky.
I got very lucky on my behalf.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot tighter. And then unfortunately Ray, that guy that I did hit, ended up getting in another wreck pretty quickly after I had
After
hit
that,
him. And that was that really bad wreck that shut the race down for like a good 10 plus minutes.
yeah.
And it was a very bad wreck. I mean both people are okay, but I know at least because one of the guys who got hit is on my team, and his car's totaled for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
the concrete barrier got moved back 10 feet. My
Jeez.
coach told me he felt it being in the stands.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely major impact. And that's with racing when you have like that is a high consequence track when you're on these street courses. Like Circuit of the Americas you could slide off for 100 feet, maybe not hit anything. You got this much room. Like there's like the white line, and then there's a wall.
Did you have any close calls with the Wall of Champions?
I did not actually. I felt like I was really good through that. I felt like that was
Yeah.
a great section for me. I could see why people be intimidated at it. You kind of have to point and floor it at it, and um, there were some people, definitely classes above me that are faster through it. But I think I was doing really good for my where I was.
Yeah. There you go.
And so also, I don't know, what was kind of cool, which you don't typically get after all the races were done. We got to actually go to the Ferrari hospitality suite and watch the F1 race.
Oh,
So
cool.
it was really cool to kind of wind down the weekend with the main event, watch it. They had lobster and filet mignon. Ferrari does it the right way, great wine. And just to be able to sit there, but with all the guys I actually compete with and sit there, it's kind of like a brotherhood and actually have a different event that we're watching all together. And I felt like, you even brought a lot of us even closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like another unique thing about that weekend is, you gotta go do your whole race weekend and then sit back and relax and watch the F1 race.
Yeah, like
In real
I'm
life.
not like a huge drinker, but then I just racked. I was done. I was ready for some wine and just to kind of just chill out and
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And it was a great opportunity. I gave my dad my second place trophy for Father's Day. Unfortunately, he didn't get a first place one I was hoping
Yeah.
to give him. But
Dude, it's like I talked to your dad last Thursday when he stopped by the dealership, and like that he's like super proud of you. Like, and just I don't think he could be more proud.
I'm very happy. He's definitely been very supportive, and he'll be at Sonoma.
Yeah.
Road America, will be in Italy. Yeah, he's
he says like my favorite thing in life right now is like going and watching my son go racing.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier. I hope he continues to do that, and
Yeah,
I love it. And that's why another great thing that you wouldn't predict coming from going and doing racing, and then it's just a whole nother way of involving the family and continuing to grow closer and closer. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So what's next is Sonoma, and you were just testing earlier this week.
I was just there on Monday and Tuesday. So really Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Getting out of there was hard.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, Sonoma, great racetrack. I of course simulated it before, but first time there. If anyone's here from the Portland metro area, you would understand it. I kind of say it's like racing on Pete's Mountain.
Yeah.
So you have this great big hill you climb up, and it's definitely a test of skills, courage.
Yeah.
Going over blind corners, hills, off
how
camber.
is because I've driven on Sonoma a few times. How is turn 1 in a 4-8 Challenge Evo?
I very confidence inspiring.
Yeah?
Yeah. You can you
I
can turn
imagine
in.
like the cars I've driven are like relatively very slow compared to the Ferrari race car.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine like going up the hill. You're coming in there with way more speed than any car I've ever driven.
Yeah,
there.
you have to slow down. I was testing. I found out what was too much speed. I mean, I go off the track, but I was literally focused on qualifying and trying to get there as fast as possible. I was really happy with the progress I was able to make.
All the elevation change and blind corners and the carousel coming down the hill, like
Yes.
all that stuff, super fun.
And like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, if you have a video game for racing, go try it. Go try Sonoma and you'll see what we're saying.
Yeah, right.
And it's a great time. And you know, a lot of people's main complaint about there is the loss of traction, a lot of tire degradation. It's got poor concrete. I heard a rumor maybe it's getting repaved, not before our
Yeah,
race, but
maybe it's due for a repave.
oh yeah, it's overdue. But I feel like I kind of gotta get maybe the one of the last hurrahs of it being all real crappy concrete, and I want to you know, thrive in that type of environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sonoma's gonna be fun. Should have a lot of friends and family coming out there.
How is it? How is it? The other corner, I'm kind of wondering about coming out of the hairpin onto the front straight.
Yeah, that's difficult. I mean, it's easy, but it's what it is the tire degradation. After like 9 laps, you know, you're
Are
just
you starting to get a little
oh,
overseer
you
coming
can
out of
just
there?
feel it, like your tires just start sliding. So I was like going like 50% throttle coming out. Nope, still lighting up. 25%, still lighting it up. So
Wow.
I can imagine, you know, I'm trying to work on tire management, but when I'm racing against someone like David and I coming out of that corner, no one's going to be going easy. It's going to be like two psychos flooring it. And I guarantee you that our lap times will probably dramatically change towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
And whoever can maintain the most traction. But I can see how it's going to be very bad at the end of that race. Now, Thomas, my coach, says, well, everyone's going through that. And he's correct. So
Yeah.
it's being able to try to manage that better than the others. And
Yeah, and it's like we've talked about before, how you love doing testing on tires
yes,
and just run them until they're absolutely dead.
that's why I did. You know, I didn't go as hard on this because I felt like there were some commitment areas maybe I'd wreck the car. But yeah, I went. You're not really going to experience more than like 18 to 20 laps. So went up to 30 lap tires. So you know, it's about 50% more than a race should give me. And then you know I'm probably not. It's not exactly race environment, but I was pushing it very hard, and I still only had a 2-second drop off between new tires to the old tires, which was
Nice.
really good. So hopefully I can maintain
Yeah,
something like
that's good.
that. But it was really cool environment. It was only like in the low 70s. They said last time, like 2 years ago, it was like 114 degrees or something insane, like the hottest day in California for that
Jeez.
day. And inside that car was over 140. And they were talking about like having ice on the drivers and everything before they go in there. It was just hell. So
That's definitely would be a race where it's like a physical test.
physical test. So one thing I've been trying to do, like since Texas, you know, I'm just trying to get in better shape. I've dropped about 20 pounds.
Nice.
So, you know, I was told 50 pounds takes about half a second of lap time. But now my race engineer went backwards on that stat and said maybe 0.3 of a second. So I told him I was trying to drop 25. So maybe a tenth and a half I'll be able to
Yeah,
take down per lap.
there you go.
But yeah, no, and heat training. That's what I was trying to do. Like I even did my first day of testing without my cool suit, just trying to you know, bring my body up to higher temperatures.
Yeah, just train your body to just be used to the heat and
It's not though. I'm from Oregon. It's not. These
more
Californians
calibrated to the cold.
I'm yeah. So I hope it rains during the race. I feel like that's one thing I did learn from Montreal is I love racing in the rain. You know, it was my first time I
Yeah.
had the opportunity. A lot of people talk about it like it's so scary. You know, us Oregonians, how does that really affect you when you're on the freeway? Not much.
Yeah.
Not much. So like my fall off was not big. Some of these people are acting like it was the end of the world. Like they're driving 50% slower on the track. It's like just easy.
I mean, yeah, last time I drove at Sonoma, it was raining.
See that?
Yeah,
Fun.
and it was like I think I was in the car for like 2 hours,
Wow.
and it was raining for like almost the entire time, and so, but then it was like it was dry. It started drying out, and it would rain again. So it was like very variable conditions. So you have to like really pay attention to, you know, what the track surface looks like, because you're like, all right, that looks like dry pavement, and you have way more grip, but then you also have the wet stuff, and then it's all you gotta adjust your braking and turning and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Sonoma's a great track, and they have a really nice hospitality suite too. You know, I got to
Yep.
go there last year with you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were there last year. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm being optimistic. It's our only real kind of like home track, I guess, as far as a challenge goes this season, being a West Coast track.
Yeah.
So I was told next season we'll have 3 though. So
3 West Coast, yeah.
don't know what those are
Yeah,
yet.
who knows? We'll see. Let's that'd be fun though if they get a couple more West Coast tracks.
You know, I'm hoping and putting this out there that maybe we become the support race for the Vegas F1 race. Now that's maybe thinking a little big and lofty, but you know that would be
that could be cool.
that'd be cool. And you know maybe not because that
Do the
is towards
Vegas
the end of
street
the
circuit.
that is towards the probably after the season. Because I believe that's more around Thanksgiving time. So
yeah,
I can see maybe that timeline doesn't work.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. I'm thinking out loud, but feel free to guess where you think we're going to be going for the 3 tracks next season. Maybe Sonoma, Laguna Seca, and maybe Thermal Club. I don't know.
Yeah, or even it's another one. Could be another one across the border, but who knows?
Maybe what is it called?
Area 27.
Area 27.
That'd be cool. I've been to that track once before. It's really, really cool.
And where's that?
It's in Oliver, British Columbia.
Oh,
so
cool.
it's like, I think it's about an hour and a half east of Vancouver, but it's in like beautiful, beautiful mountainous Canadian wine country. So like Sonoma, beautiful, beautiful wine country.
Well, Area 27, Kevin's plugging you, so we're looking forward to a free track days.
I love that track.
Send the love this way. But I think that's pretty much it for what.
I think that was a pretty good recap of like the whole Montreal weekend and what's coming up next. So
I'm excited. I feel good. You know, I lost a little bit of my lead, but not much. Got fortunate. Practicing for this, I think Sonoma, I feel confident in, and I'm gonna just try to be a smarter driver. And I think that's what this is the experience I'm here to get.
So. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I think that kind of wraps it up for this episode. Join us next time, and then we'll be talking about how the Sonoma weekend went. And the Sonoma, it's July
21st and
22nd, 23rd, I think is like that whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend.
Yes, exactly.
So look for episode, what will it be like? This is episode 4 that we're recording. Yeah. So episode 5, we'll be doing that probably like late July, maybe early June.
Yeah, probably late July.
Early August.
We're gonna try to get it. We gotta
get these in fresh while your mind is still fresh and all the memories and everything.
They're begging for these episodes. We're gonna keep it coming to you.